Okay, unless you have been living under a rock, you have heard about Manus AI, which is the newest and the greatest, proclaimed at least, AI tool, agentic tool actually, that does crazy things. So I've seen people build whole kind of websites fully developed from a single prompt. So you can go to their X account and see the crazy stuff they share out there with what people who have access to that platform are doing. Today, I'm glad to tell you that I'm one of the lucky few who has the access to test Manus AI. What I will do is I will explain to you what I am testing and why, and then I will take you to the platform of Manus AI and I will run that prompt. Remember, these kind of AI tools do not run in seconds. So this will take a long time to run my prompt and get me the end result. So I'm gonna actually give it the prompt, leave it to run, and maybe later on when it's done, I'll catch up with you to show you what we've got. And it's not an easy task I'm gonna give it. And with this, I hope you will enjoy the video. Do not forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And without further ado, let's get started.
Subscribe to Daddy's channel. The mic.
Okay, so when I logged in based on the email that I got from Manus telling me I'm in, I just went to that link and I was greeted with this screen. So let's go through it quickly. Hi Samer Haddad, thanks for being an early adopter of Manus. Your passion and creativity have been inspiring. Today we are excited to announce two major updates. So they're just giving us updates out of the bat for the platform. Introducing Manus Membership Beta. We are launching a beta version of Manus Membership with more usage credits, run more tasks, at the same time enhance stability with dedicated resources and extended context length. As a thank you for your early support, we've added 1,000 free credits to your account, with more bonus credits coming your way from time to time. We will continuously optimize system efficiency and reduce the number of credits consumed per task. Manus mobile app is now also available. Take Manus everywhere. Okay, so they have a mobile app as well. And then I can go to the app itself for the mobile and then hit subscribe. So let's see the tiers. So they have two tiers now. One is the Manus Starter and then Manus Pro. That's a $199 per month. It's comparable to ChatGPT Pro subscription. But again, this is different. This is not an AI model simply. This has a lot more to offer. And this is dedicated for a different audience very clearly. Now, for the $39 per month Manus Starter, this has 3,900 credits per month, run up to 2 tasks concurrently, so you can run 2 projects together, enhanced stability with dedicated resources, extended context length, priority access during peak hours. And then for the big one, the Manus Pro, this is 19,900 credits per month, run up to 5 tasks concurrently, access a high effort mode, and other beta features. That actually sounds like the test time compute the ChatGPT Pro also offers. Enhanced stability with dedicated resources, extended context length, priority access during peak hours. Okay, that's interesting. I will not do it now. Maybe if I love it so much that I feel I can do crazy things with it for myself, I might actually pay some of that money. So looking at the interface, it's a simplistic, very nice interface. It looks like weirdly like DeepSeek, especially when you look at the logo. And here, if you click on this, we have the standard. Again, we have the high effort that they mentioned. This is, it's like grayed out. I don't think I have access to it. Yeah, once I click it, I'll have to subscribe for the highest tier subscription or membership that they have. And this is, okay, it's part of my free. And I have 1,000 credits here that I can use. And I can simply add tasks. Here I have some notifications that I can read, and this is just takes me to the mobile app. This is a barcode, and here is knowledge that I can add to Manus for the project I'm working on. So it looks simple. I guarantee you it is not. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna run my prompt for my project, and I will stretch the abilities and I will stress the capabilities of Manus AI. And before I take you to the prompt, I want to be clear. You'll find many people reviewing the fancy showcase of how Manus AI actually runs a virtual computer using probably something like a browser use as an agent tool, and it start doing research for you, doing so many crazy, amazing things. I will not cover those. You can showcase those in different videos on YouTube. What my intention is, if I give it something out of this world challenging, will it actually achieve the result, even close to that result? And if it succeeds in the prompt that I'm going to give it, I actually might take it a step forward beyond the Manus AI platform to see really how well it did its research. So it could be a long project that we do together and we see along its life cycle if it's successful or not. So when I considered what should I give Manus AI to do for me, I looked online and I've seen people achieving things from book ticketing projects online to games that are actually interactive, ready to deploy, to many things. I was interested with something else that probably will really push it to its limits. What I will ask it to do, now the prompt details I can attach for you if you want to read word by word, but fundamentally I'm asking it, I want a small startup. I want you to look online and find the best idea out there for a small startup. And then I want you to design the product for that startup. I want you to put it together all for me in one place on a website or a platform where I can sell that product. And even I want you to put placeholders for whatever payment links, AI APIs that are required to run this successfully. I want an actual running prototype or actually full-fledged product. And I'm telling it, do everything on your own. If you fail at points, pivot from there, change your idea. If you face errors, try to fix them. So I'm asking it to do many roles. The first one is a research role. Tell me what is the mini startup idea that I can go out there with and make lots of money. So do market research for me. And then what is that product? Research that part. How would that look? Build it for me. I'm not giving it any details. I'm just asking it to be as a high-level consultant. Decide on the project yourself. Decide on the product, the features. Build it for me. I need it to be ready. Do the branding for me. I need a fully fledged branding for my product. And then develop it to the level where I easily plug in my links and my APIs and I get it to run. And then if it's nearly completely deployable or deployable like from the first shot, we'll see. We'll have to judge when it's done its work. I will actually keep going after it for some time to really test the other parts, the parts that you cannot see with your eyes. Did it really research a product that people are looking for? Is it solving a problem? Does it really get subscriptions? Do I actually get a level of ARR? How much of that within 1 month, 2 months? So I will pay some money probably if Manus AI delivers on the big promise of its ability to build such things. Again, I'm not expecting something perfect. I'm willing to work with whatever I get and perfect it if it's close enough to test really this project at its full length. I have a prompt created. Again, I developed this prompt myself and then I worked with ChatGPT to develop it further. And without further ado, I'm gonna push the prompt now and I will show you some of the fancy stuff as it starts. But after that, we'll just go directly to the end results when it's ready. But straight after that, I will cut to the point where the end result is there and we are ready to review that product and see, did it do well? Did it do bad? Did it do great? Amazing? And we can decide together, is it something to take to the next level and really test the wealth and breadth of such a project done by Manus AI. And without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I will press go with Manus AI and let's spend a couple of minutes to watch the magic as it happens with this AI agent platform. So before I cut off, you can see it has a list of progress now. I just opened the Manus computer so you can see it's accessing the internet through a browser. It's looking, reading information online. It's researching the startups, which is pretty impressive as a start. So it created those tasks for us. Analyze startup requirement based on the uploaded file. Doing a brainstorming now to 2 to 3 startup ideas to select one of them. Select the best startup idea from the brainstormed option, so it's brainstorming with itself. Define product features and create a roadmap. Implement the core product. Create branding and website for the startup. Integrate payment systems and analytics. develop a marketing and launch plan, prepare final deliveries or deliverables for the project, report completion of the tasks to the user. So you can see it has a very clear pathway to really delivering what I asked for. And it's already around, I think, 3-4 minutes in, with only 3 minutes just in this online research. So it's gonna take time. And with this, I will see you when it's done so we can really look at the kind of work it delivered. Okay, so it is done with my request. And now what we're gonna do is just go quickly through what it actually delivered, the kind of chain of thought it had, implementing what I asked it to do, and then I spent some time to get whatever it delivered to run on my local machine, so at least you can get a feel and a taste of the capabilities of the platform. At the end, I will still give you my impressions and where I think this is today and where potentially it will go in the future. So this is the first response. I've reviewed your request for creating Startup in a Day with a live ARR tracking. I understand you'd like me to develop a complete mini startup from scratch within 24 hours, including product development, website creation, payment integration, analytics setup, and marketing plan. Okay, so this is just reconfirming what I requested. I'll be working through this comprehensive project step by step, starting with market research and idea generation, and then moving to implementation and finally preparing everything for launch. I'll keep you updated on my progress throughout the process. So if you activate the notifications on your computer, it will keep giving you those notifications where actually it is working or what is being completed or done. And here you can see sort of chain of thought or the planning process or the thinking process of the model. It's not a model, let's call it a system. I think that's a better description of what Manus AI is. So here it's talking about brainstorming 2 to 3 startup ideas. So it's executing some commands. And again, as you've seen, it spent time actually looking through the browser kind of tool that it has access to at the internet, doing the research, scraping information, taking information in as part of what's looking for. And you can see here it's connected to 4 datasets: get stock chart, get stock insight, get stock SEC filing, get what analysis are saying of a stock. I don't know why it did that, doesn't make sense. Brainstorming, again, 2 to 3 viable startup ideas based on market research and available APIs. I think it just got the word market and it went for the stock market. Didn't make sense. Okay, here it's editing a file, so it's creating a to-do text list. So this is a .md file, and I think it's basically creating its own context knowledge base. So later on it will go to the to-do list and track that to-do list in terms of what it has achieved and what it has to do next. Okay, continuing with brainstorming. So you can see here it's doing some search, so it's using a search tool. Okay, so here it's looking for 2025 micro SaaS, so that's spot on. Continuing research on startup trends and brainstorming viable startup ideas. And here it is actually doing the browsing. So this is the part that we've seen. So this is like the browser use or the screen use. So it went to the internet and started looking at sources, researching micro SaaS ideas and market trends to develop viable startup proposals. So it's doing some work, scrolling and doing more researching here. So at some point actually selected, so select the best startup idea. So you can see here actually you can collapse or expand these things. So it selected an idea and then it's editing a file. So it's updating the to-do file. Still it's evaluating the 3 ideas it got, and then define product features and create a roadmap development. So this is the next step. So here I'm getting another message from the system. I've made significant progress on our startup in a day project. After thorough market research, I've brainstormed 3 viable startup ideas and selected the most promising one for implementation. So the 3 are AI-powered personal finance tracker, AI-enhanced team collaboration tool, and niche analytics dashboard for content creators. Okay, interesting. After careful evaluation based on market opportunity, technical feasibility within our 24-hour constraint, revenue potential, differentiation, user acquisition potential, and scalability, I've selected the niche analytics dashboard for content creators as our startup idea. The choice offers the best balance of, so it's just telling why it selected that idea. Probably it's easier technically, or apparently this is what it defined. And then here it's saying, I'm now moving to define the specific product features and create a development roadmap for our MVP. I'll keep you updated as I make progress on implementation. So it's doing some feature definition here, and then it's implementing core product based on selected idea. Okay. All of this is happening still, modifying the todo.md. And then here it's telling me I've completed the product definition and roadmap of our startup, Content Pulse, a niche analytics dashboard for content creators. So it called it Content Pulse. This specialized tool will help content creators across multiple platforms, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, blogs, track their performance metrics in one unified dashboard. So this is basically something like vidIQ, I assume. Key features of our MVP will include cross-platform analytics integration, unified performance dashboard, content performance analysis, audience insights, basic reporting functionality, tiered subscription model. Okay, it's giving me the different prices. Didn't analyze a price point. I assume nothing at least showcases that. So it just gave random figures here. I've created a detailed 24-hour development roadmap breaking down the implementation into manageable phases. I actually gave it as a challenge. I didn't know how much it would take. It didn't take anything close to even an hour. So it took, I would say, around half an hour, 35 minutes, 40 max. Okay, so here are the phases: project setup and planning, hour 1 to 2, authentication system 3 to 5, API integration, dashboard development. So again, it's giving itself these kind of milestones to deliver those kind of phases or stages, and it didn't do any of that and definitely didn't spend that time. So maybe this is a little bit of a spoiler, but let's see. Let's take it to the end and see what we actually get as an end product from something like Manus AI. I'm now moving on to the implementation phases, starting with setting up the project structure and development environment. I'll keep you updated on my progress. And here it starts running some commands. So you can see it's creating directories. It's going inside the directory. So it's using the cd basically command here. It's moving within directories. Okay. It's creating a file within that directory, which is server.js. And then, so this is JavaScript. It's creating another file, which is app.js here, implementing the core functionality. So it started actually implementing some also more commands. So it's making more directories and it's creating new files. So this is login.js. Okay, so it's implementing core functionality for Content Pulse with backend API and front-end components in progress. So it's creating so many files here, which is encouraging. And finally here it's creating index.js, and then it's creating branding and website for the startup. So again, it's updating the to-do list. And here it's telling me I've successfully implemented the core product, which is Content Pulse. The application now has a fully functional backend and front end with all the essential features outlined in our product definition. Here's what I've built so far. Okay, so the backend, Express.js server with RESTful API endpoints, authentication system with JWT, platform connection management, analytics data generation simulated for MVP, subscription management, front end, complete React application with the Material UI, user authentication, login and register, dashboard with performance metrics and visualization, content analytics with filtering and sorting, audience insights with demographic data, okay, platform setting for connecting content platforms. On paper, on the chat, it's telling me it did a lot here, okay, even subscription plan management. So basically that's like the admin dashboard, I assume, where I can manage the subscriptions I have. Now I'm moving to creating the branding and public facing website for Content Pulse. This will include designing a logo, creating a compelling landing page, and preparing marketing material to attract potential users. I'll keep you updated on my progress, and it goes to creating more files and doing more work. And then here I've completed the branding, so it did the branding for me. I've created a professional landing page, so it talks about that, and then what it includes as a landing page. So that's all interesting. This is what we're going to look at in a second. And then the branding elements I've developed include a distinctive logo with CP icon, a consistent color scheme using primary blue. Okay, so this is the code of it, and accent pink. Again, this is the code of it. Professional typography using Roboto and Poppins font families. Clear messaging that emphasizes the product value and for content creators. Okay. Now I'm moving to integrate a payment processing and analytics tracking into the application. This will allow us to monetize the product through the subscription plans we've defined and track key metrics for our business. Okay, so integrating payment systems, analytics tools. So it's editing the file. Again, this is the to-do file here. It's creating a new directory. It's creating a file which is payment.js. All of it is in JavaScript. It's creating the file which is analytics.js. It's creating again subscriptions.js. And then it's going back to the to-do file and updating. And then here it's telling me I've successfully integrated payment processing, analytics tracking into Content Pulse. This completes another major milestone in our startup development. Here's what I've implemented. Again, it goes through the things that it should have done at this stage, including the Stripe integration. You can see it here. And checkout session for seamless payment processing, yada yada. Okay. Analytics tracking, user event tracking system for monitoring product usage, dashboard analytics with cross-platform performance metrics. Okay. So it did even more on that. And then part of that analytics that I would assume me running the application or the platform, I would have in front of me a live ARR, which is recurring annual recurring revenue monitoring. So I can monitor my business as it grows, as it goes online. I'm now moving to develop a comprehensive marketing and launch plan for Content Pulse. This will include defining the target audience segments, creating a go-to-market strategy, planning content marketing initiatives, and establishing a launch timeline. And again, it goes in and it's running some commands, creating directories, and it's creating files. It's an MD file, marketing plan, and all of it is delivered later on. It's creating a timeline, also like a schedule, an MD file, and then the social media strategy. And then it's preparing the final deliverables for the project. Again, here it is updating the to-do.md file. And here it's telling me I've completed the marketing launch plan for Content Pulse. This comprehensive plan will guide the successful introduction of our product to the market. Okay, and it's just here again telling me over what it did step by step. I'm now moving to prepare the final deliverables for our Startup in a Day project, which will include a comprehensive project summary, technical documentation, and all necessary files for deployment. So here it should start putting things together for me to have a nearly ready deployable type of SaaS application that I can just deploy, maybe do some tweaking and start running. So again, creating directories, setting files, and then here it's telling me I'm excited to announce that Startup in a Day project now is complete. I've successfully developed Content Pulse, a fully functional analytics dashboard for content creators from concept to launch ready product, all within our 24-hour time frame. Again, it didn't take even an hour. Here's a summary of what I've accomplished. Again, it goes through everything that we've talked about, and this is nice. It gives me a zip file with all the files, and I can view the files, I can download the files, and it does a final update to the to-do.md file, as if basically marking that everything is complete at this stage. All of it is great. I can hit create website here to have a look. So let's do it together. I don't know how much time this one will take. I wanted to test this live with you. So let's hit that button. I did a local run of the documents or the files it created for me, just to make sure if this doesn't work or it's not comprehensive enough, I can show you on VS Code or on my browser locally running this application. So let's hit create website. So you can see it says I'll deploy the Content Pulse landing page and the permanent website right away. I'll use static site hosting service to make it accessible online with a public URL. Okay, so it's analyzing the deployment requirements, and it's basically using everything it created for me to run the proper commands to actually take it step by step into deploying the project. What I've done in this project locally on my machine is I downloaded the zip file, I unzipped it, created the project folder, and then connected that to VS Code and worked through Klein. If you know Klein, it's like Cursor. It has AI models you can use to actually fix things, improve code. And I worked using Gemini 2.5, which is amazing, honestly. And I asked it to help me modify things to be able to run it locally, and I was able and successful to run the project. It took me like 10 minutes to run the project on my local machine. It's interesting, I'll show you in a second, but I want to also show you that this takes it a step further as a Manus AI to actually deploy right off the platform itself. You can see here I can actually expand this checklist that it is going through. So now it's working to prepare a landing page for deployment. It will select a suitable hosting platform for the website. It will configure deployment setting for the website. It will deploy the Content Pulse website to the selected hosting platform, verify the deployment and functionality of the website, provide a deployment detail for the user. So once it's done, it will just tell me, hey, everything is done. You can go check it out, which is something I'll share with everyone probably ahead of the video, just for you to get a chance to look at it. And then maybe if you watch this, you'd really appreciate the kind of technology we're dealing with today in April 2025 of this year. Things are moving really fast in the world of AI. One thing I noticed now as this is running, so I've seen this kind of icon here. I thought to check it out, which is the Manus computer. I thought this is used to do the research and use the computer use or browser use. When I clicked on it, you can select an application to use, VS Code or browser. Now it's already working. I don't want to disrupt it. But if this really takes things to VS Code and runs it for you without you intervening and using something like Klein or Cursor to make it run on your local machine, then that is definitely a super feature in this tool, in this system of Manus AI. And it would mean that basically all the time I spent, which is not a lot, on actually running this on my machine on my own went to waste. Okay, so this did not last long. I got an error here, as you can see. Internal server error has occurred. Please try again later or refund this task. So, okay, I will not keep going after this. It's amazing if it can do this thing. If it's amazing actually if it can do it once in every 5 attempts. This could be too much to expect of one system. Okay, so let me go to VS Code and show you what I got. I will not go over the code, just the structure, how things look. And then I'll come back to the browser and show you the product that it delivered. And finally, I will close with my impressions of Manus AI, what was said about it, and what I've experienced myself firsthand. So here we are in VS Code, and you can see I have Klein opened. This is Klein if you don't know it. But let's go to the file explorer here. So I got so many files in the content of the folder I downloaded from Manus AI. Not all of it is code related. Many of it contained .md files, which is basically nice looking text files with the plans and the schedules it created, which is nice. So let me show you some examples. Let me start with the deployment guide. So this is a guide that basically covers how you deploy the application, which was very helpful, by the way, and I assume this is made for Manus itself to deploy later on. But when I went to Klein, I just asked it to go through this file and help me using my local machine to deploy it locally, basically as an application. You can see the idea selection, so all the research and the ideas that it came up with, the timeline of the launch. So this is just a plan for me, how I can take it step by step as a startup and launch it. There's a marketing plan as well. You know, these are comprehensive, honestly, looking at it, these are really comprehensive plans. Product definition, so this describes the whole product, what kind of feature it has. And then even it talks about the API points that probably I need to link that application properly, or maybe get access to scopes that allow me to get those details from subscribers or users. A project summary, social media strategy. So how would I go about social media and marketing my application? The startup ideas. Okay, again, this is maybe the first step it did. Technical documentation. This is super interesting. If you see what it did, so it has a React front end, Express API, the MongoDB, which I downloaded to do this locally, Stripe payment, external APIs. So it did a nice diagram within the .md file, which is impressive. Honestly, it's impressive. It has the file structure of the application and more details. And this is the to-do list, and you can see it's complete. And then you can go to the actual application files. You have app.js, index.js, main.js, styles, which is the CSS file. You have the index.html. This is the front end. This is the public part. Basically, they put it under a directory called public. The node modules. So you can see lots of modules here. Okay, and this is again more details, more files. And again, there's a project summary, technical documentation. These are repeated. So you have really comprehensive folder structure. Some of it related to the product, some of it is not. So let's go back to the browser and just visualize what all of this looks like in real life. Okay, so here you have it. This is the product Manus created in about 40 minutes. So Content Pulse, it's a really nice logo, and some of the components here are actually interactive. So I assume, okay, this one is not working. These are hovering over them, like they have click potential. I can click them, probably it will take me somewhere else. Let's just look at the high level, design. I think it's really nice. So track, analyze, and optimize your content performance. Content Pulse is a specialized analytics dashboard for content creators that unifies data from multiple platforms, providing actionable insights to grow your audience and maximize engagement. And we can click at start a free trial. This is going nowhere. If I click at learn more, so I get like a kind of a summary, connect your platforms, view unified analytics, get actionable insights. Interesting. This is not bad. Here, okay, I'm not able, sometimes so it's clickable. So if I click at the, actually the logo or the design for the name of the product, it takes me back here, which is interesting. Start a free trial, nothing happens again. So let's go to pricing. And this is really neat. So simple, transparent pricing. And this is the same pricing that it showcased while it was thinking. And you can see the most popular. It looks really good, honestly. And you have basically the description of each tier, and these are different. If you read through them, there's a difference between one and one. So it's well thought. It's not just placeholders of text in a page or a front page. It's actually sort of ready to go. Okay, so that's really interesting, really good. Testimonials. So really interesting, nice way of showing testimonials. You can see it's just missing the images. And then ready to optimize your content strategy. And then again, you have a button to start your free 14-day trial. And you can notice there's a subtle effect here with the button. Again, this is part of the HTML front end. If I click at it, it takes me again to the beginning. Interesting. Okay, so let me go to the bottom again. I have the logo. Okay, not everything is perfect, but as a first shot, you can't argue with impressive, right? Okay, let's see if I can click some of those things here. Again, features, pricing, API, takes me to the top. So there's nothing really when it comes to API. Just want to explore if it created any other pages or it's literally only this page. Careers. Well, before I conclude this, let me check the login. Nothing happens. Sign up for free. Nothing happens. So, okay, for me to judge this pragmatically and without any bias or not just being influenced by the looks, and I used Klein because I have all the project files and I have an AI model who has access to everything that Manus AI created. And that's based on Gemini 2.5 Pro, which is a really strong coding AI model. So I asked Gemini 2.5 to go through all the project files, all the JavaScript files, anything that is related with the front end or back end, and rank it in two ways. One, on readiness, is it ready to deploy? And two, on quality, the quality of the code that it has within it as a project. And let me show you what Gemini 2.5 said. So let's go back to VS Code. And if I make this a little bigger, I know this is very small, probably. I'll try to zoom in editing, but basically it's giving me kind of a qualification and a ranking of what it sees within the code. So it's telling me this is the intended functionality. So it got that from some of the code and some of the .md files, and it's giving me code quality and readiness assessment. So the first one it's covering is structure and modularity, and it's saying it's poor and it's explaining why. I'm happy to share this with anyone. If you're interested, I can add it in a comment if that's something people are interested to see. It's also just covering some details around the specific files, persistence, critically flawed and inconsistent, missing files, functionality implementation incomplete, bad error handling, bad security. So it did this. In conclusion, it's missing a lot. It has broken and inconsistent data persistence strategy, poor code structure and modularity, and then heavy reliance on mock data and placeholders. So it has lots of placeholders. And then it says readiness and quality scores. Readiness is 2 out of 10, which is really low. Quality is 3 out of 10. So that is what at least Gemini 2.5 thinks of the application that Manus AI created. So what is my impression of Manus AI? Before I address that, I want to address what I see happening sometimes in the AI world now. It's becoming like, I always associated with crypto. You have all of these hype cycles happening either by businesses or by the community itself. So when Manus AI came, all the creators went out and said, AGI is here, this is what we're expecting. And they boast the whole thing. And because I couldn't have access, I've seen some reviews of things that are simpler than this maybe, that looked nice. I couldn't make my own judgment. But people basically bloated up the idea of Manus AI to something it is not. I don't think even the team behind Manus AI intended to be in the way that people pictured it online on X or on YouTube in doing their reviews. Now, going back to the tool itself, I think it was overhyped. Maybe not by Manus AI. They did definitely a really great first video to showcase the technology that they created, but it definitely went from there to somewhere else. It went so overhyped. I really wanted to have access because I thought it will be way better than what I see today in my own experience. Definitely it is something amazing. I probably wouldn't see coders like real professional software engineers or developers using Manus AI. This could be an area where either enthusiasts, people just curious about where this technology could go, if Manus AI stays on top of building these agent-based systems to build tools, just out of curiosity. If you have extra money to do that, maybe some people will do it. Vibe coders, while it's not perfect, they might want this platform to do the early heavy lifting for them so they can take it from there. So for example, this project I created, I can simply now just look at those files and start working them out one by one, which is not my style. I'm not a developer. I do a lot with vibe coding, and working with something that is having lots of lines of code, lots of files that I didn't myself build it with AI will be a mess to deal with at some point, but this might be addressing a certain pain some people might have. Now, on the flip side, if you want to create those quick landing pages to customers, maybe you want to create small cool things that you can share with friends or people online, this could be a hobbyist platform as well. And this definitely has the potential to do serious development in the future. So this is the first step. Someone has to start something like this at some point for things to start developing. Now, I think what they've done is they have AI models or model behind the scenes with so many tools available, and I assume many of them are open source tool. Like the screen thing, I think this is the browser use well-known open source project on GitHub. They have also other things seemingly that they can use to run code, to do actual deployment. So they've actually built up a sophisticated suite of tools and enabled AI model or models with those tools that the model will use and run this system in a really smart, robust way. Because again, remember, I got this website which is really good from one prompt. It's a single shot outcome. And yes, it required me to do some tweaking to get it to run on my local machine, but apparently you can do it within Manus itself. Maybe I was just unlucky that it failed as it was trying to deploy. I've seen people who actually deployed straight out of Manus online. So I know it works. And by the way, just looking at Manus again, this run took 75%, it consumed 75% of my credits that I get with my account. I probably can't do anything else unless I subscribe for the basic tier. I wouldn't go for the big tier. For me, I would encourage anyone who gets access to check it out. You might find something there for you. Someone might do something crazy with this that shocks everyone in the future and proves someone like me wrong in my review. But today it's not the tool for me to dedicate money. It's definitely interesting. Kudos to Manus AI team. I think you need people to take these kind of courageous steps to put a product out there and try to push the envelope when it comes to what you can build with AI today. And I think this is one of these cases. So hats off to the Manus AI team. So with this, I hope you've got a bit of a different perspective and insight into the tool. I have access, I have some credit. If you want me to do something else, test something simpler with it, something that we can actually do and deploy within the same session itself, maybe you want me to do it live, I'm more than happy to do it. Actually, I'll be happy if I get enough comments and likes to do this for you live. So I'll buy credits, we'll do it live together. If you want to stick in, we do a premiere for this project and we look at it together. So with this, I hope you enjoyed the video. Do not forget to like the video, comment, most important, engage with me and the community. Really important. Do not forget to subscribe if you watch my content and you enjoy it. And with this, thank you for watching and goodbye.
Subscribe to Daddy's channel. Give me the mic.